Hello and welcome to Into Vietnam. I'm To Anh. In this program, we'll bring you comprehensive news about Vietnam's economy during the day and following our major stories on Monday. Vietnam's vegetables and fruit exports might reach $500 million this year. Vietnam's prices of rice surged sharply in many weeks. And the country needs to invest $42.5 billion to develop tourism industry till 2020. Vietnam's Ministry of Industry and Trade forecasts exports of Vietnamese vegetables and fruit would likely to reach $500 million by the end of this year, representing a year-on-year increase of 10%. The forecast was mainly attributed to increasing global demand.
Dragon fruit, pineapple, mango, avocado, papaya, jackfruit and canned vegetables are expected to remain major export earners in 2011. Particularly, dragon fruit and frozen pineapple are predicted to gain the highest export growth. Taiwan, US, EU, Japan, Russia, Canada and China would continue to be important export markets of Vietnamese vegetables. In addition, exports to Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia are expected to make up 10% of the country's vegetable export revenue this year. Vietnam exported $297.8 million worth of vegetables in the first half of the year, up 29.8% on year.
Vietnam Food Association said prices of rice surged sharply in many weeks due to a price hike in the world market's demand for rice. Purchasing prices of material rice last week jumped by 250 to 300 dong per kilo to 8,600 to 8,700 dong per kilo for 5% broken rice and to around 8,500 dong per kilo for 20% broken rice. Prices of finished rice also climbed by the same rate. The reasons of increasing prices were attributed to a rumor among local rice traders that the speculation would push rice export prices in the near future. Ho Chi Minh City Housing Development Bank, or HD Bank, and the Electricity and Telecommunications Solutions Joint Stock Company, or ECPay, signed a cooperation agreement to provide electricity bill payment services. Under the agreement, HD Bank and ECPay will provide the services for the local customers. The customer can pay their electricity bills directly through their banks. The service is expected to make it easier for clients of electricity and telecom firms to access various payment channels. Vietnam would need to invest over $40 billion to develop its tourism industry. In addition, the country would build an international tourism complex in the southern province of Kiên Giang. More details in the following stories.
The Vietnam National Administration of Tourism said the country would need to invest $42.5 billion to develop its tourism infrastructure and services till 2020. The fund will be spent on human resources, product development, trademark, tourism promotion and key tourism zone development. 80% of the investment would come from state-owned enterprises, private firms and foreign investment. The state budget would contribute the other 20%. Vietnam expects to attract about 48 million local tourists and 10.5 million international arrivals by 2020.
The southern province of Kiên Giang's authorities on July the 29th announced Phu Quoc Island of the province could have an international tourism complex. The tourism complex could be built on a 135 hectares of land in Bãi Thơm commune of the island, including 5-star hotels, convention centers, and casinos. The complex could be a 100% foreign invested project with a maximum duration of 70 years and the casino license valid for 30 years at most. The investors of the project must commit to an investment of over $4 billion and specializing in casino service. Vietnam exported 101,800 tons of shrimp, totaling $971.1 million in the first 6 months of the year. The figure rose 16.9% in volume and 35.2% in value against the same period of last year, representing the highest growth in the sector. During the period, Prawn exported $611.2 million worth of 56,000 tons, up 30.9% in value and 15% in volume. Meanwhile, Vandermeer white shrimp exported 37.7% in volume and 72.5% in value to 31,000 tons, totaling $248.4 million. Average price of shrimp exports also grew by 15.6% on year to $9.53 per kilo in the same period. We will now move on to securities news. Vietnam stock marked the first trading sessions in August in a red note as investors stayed cautious amid macroeconomic uncertainty.
On Ho Chi Minh Stock Exchange, VN Index lost 3.75 points or 0.92% to end at 401.95. The market breadth was negative on the primary bourse, where 74 stocks advanced, 164 tumbled, 63 closed unchanged, and 21 stocks were not traded. Total trading volume rose 18% from last Friday to 22.32 million shares and fund certificates, valued at 436 billion dongs, also up 18%. On Hanoi Stock Exchange, HNX Index lost 0.95 points or 1.37% to end at 68.6. The market breadth was negative on the northern, where 66 rallied, 173 tumbled, 54 closed unmoved, and 95 stocks were not traded. Trading volume fell 6% from last Friday to 21 million shares, valued at 203 billion dongs, down 14%. The market closed on redness. The market sentiment gets worsened as the uptrend is hidden. Companies are facing hardships in the fight against inflation and high borrowing rates. The money is forecast to leave the market as commercial lenders are forced to bring credits for non-manufacturing sectors to 16% of total outstanding loans at the end of this year, including securities. Particularly, banks can easily take back debts from the stock market rather than the real estate sector. Foreign investors remain net buyers on Ho Chi Minh Stock Exchange while turn net sellers on the northern bourse. These players net bought 83.33 billion dongs of Vietnamese shares on the primary bourse and net sold 1.33 billion dongs worth of shares on the Hanoi Stock Exchange.
That concludes our program today. Thank you for watching. For comments and feedback, send us an email at intovietnam@vitv.vn or give us a call at 0422208288 or 0983566844. Goodbye for now and see you next time.